Hey guys, Steve Welch here, Beaman Toyota in downtown Nashville. Here to answer a question that I've had a few times that's a really good question, and I wanted to definitely answer that. And the question is, what happened to Scion? What was Scion? And obviously, what happened to the cars that were built under the Scion brand? So, first off, what Scion was it was meant to be a fun spin-off brand of Toyota, still built predominantly by Toyota, but a spin-off brand, special colors, special features, more sporty looking, and meant to really appeal to the 18 to 25 year olds when it came to their car buy-in. So they tried to keep the prices low. They gave them options, like a lot of times they had push button start and stuff like that, and they tried to like you could only get black interior on some cars, so you had the black interior but you had the push button starts. People are like, great, I love having the push button start. So you stopped some options, gave, so really there weren't any great options, like, or I don't want to say great options, but there weren't any really big options on the Scion. Basically meaning that they made it very nice how it was, and other than maybe something like a body side molding or a door edge guard, you weren't really getting anything other than what it was built with as an option. They didn't offer like upgraded radios. They didn't offer like some weird or different engine options or something like that, where you could add thousands of dollars like you can to a lot of the Toyotas. So they made them basic, they made them cheap, as cheap as they could make them, made them reliable, and made them fun. And it was a Scion. Well, what happened was you kind of had all these people saying, well, I don't want a Scion, I want a Toyota. Why? Because they grew up knowing how reliable Toyotas are and all of that. But the thing was, it was the same car. It was the same engine. The Scion Ia had the same engine as the Corolla. It was the same car. It was just it was built in a different way, so just that you could be a little bit cheaper. But people looked at that brand, in my opinion, of course, and said, well, I don't want that brand because that's not a Toyota, but it was built by Toyota, for, like I said, for the most part. And I'll go over a few of the differences here in a second. So first off, that's really where it came from. Why did it end? When did it end? The 2016 model year was the last year that Scion was out. The reason that they stopped it was basically what I was saying. People were happy with Toyotas. I'm good buying the Toyota. So they decided at that point that they were going to fold it into the Toyota line and stop the spin-off idea that they had. So rather than keeping the line open, they just made them Toyotas. So you can still get the Scions even today in various forms, but I'm going to show you a couple options and what they went to. So your Scion Ia, which was your base Scion, is actually, there's one right behind me here, and it's one of the reasons I'm standing right here. This is an Ia. It's actually built in a partnership with Mazda. So that is your Toyota Ia. It's smaller than a Corolla. This one's a used one, so just kind of giving you an idea on what it looks like. But it's built in a partnership with Mazda. It's very similar to a Mazda. You'll notice that, but that's your Ia. It was the Scion Ia, and then it went from the Scion Ia to the Toyota Yaris Ia, and now it went to the Yaris sedan. So they kind of had a few little variations between 2017 and now, but the body style, everything else is really still the same. So that with the Scion badge on it, it's pretty much the same Scion. So that being said, I'm going to kind of walk over here. We're going to kind of come over to the next vehicle, which is going to be your Corolla Hatch. All right, so what the Corolla Hatch is it really is the derivative of the Scion IM. And this gray one, or silver one, what do you want to call it, right here, that's your Toyota Corolla Hatchback. And it's even more fun looking than what the IM was, because the IM didn't have the sleeker lines, anything like that. So it was a little bit more basic compared to this. But now, and I'm going to tell you too, so once you get up to the IM, it's, like I said, it's the Corolla Hatch now. They switched it after 2016, and it went from the Scion IM to the Corolla IM, and then they just switched it to the Corolla Hatch, or the Corolla Hatchback. But now you can get options, you can do a few other things on it, and they didn't really just leave it as a basic car. They actually made it to where you can really get a lot of options that really make it fun. So that's your Corolla Hatch. So you had your Scion Ia, or Yaris IA, or Yaris Sedan, down to your IM, Corolla IM, Scion IM, Corolla IM, and now your Corolla Hatch. So what we'll show you next is I'm going to show you what happened to the Scion FRS. And I know it's getting a little bit dark. I hope I can finish this video here before we get too dark. But your Scion FRS is actually right here. Now it's called the 86. So it's the Toyota 86 now. So if you're looking here, you can see on the side. And if you see an old FRS, you'll still see the 86 emblem on the side. It's indicative of the SRX, or of the FRX. Now this is built in a partnership with Subaru. Has your side-by-side motor. It's a side-by-side 4-cylinder motor. So it's actually a little bit different than what you're normally used to, even from Toyota. I've had some people say it looks like maybe a Celica. And it can, I guess, that's what you're thinking. So, but this was, like I said, the Scion FRS, now to the Toyota 86. So, like I said, it's still here. It's still built the same way. Still built in a partnership with Subaru. All right. So now what? Well, these right here are Toyota CHRs. And a lot of people say there was never a Scion CHR. You're right. CHR stands for Coupe High Rider. There was no Scion CHR other than the fact that Toyota had this one set up to be a Scion. And it was so far in production, they kept building it, and they came out as the Toyota CHR. CHR stands for Coupe High Rider. So Toyota Coupe High Rider, Scion Coupe High Rider, that's really what it was. And you can see there's different colors on the roofs. There's different styling to them. They actually drive really nice. They got a 2.0 liter motor. Now they're predominantly built in Japan, but when they first came out, they were actually built in Turkey. So it's a little bit different to be able to know that. But like I said, so this was your CHR, originally slated to be a Scion. They added when it first came out, you had two options, the XLE and the XLE Premium, kind of along the Scion model of not a lot of options for it. Now they've set it up. You have three options: your LE, your XLE, and your Limited. You can get leather seats. You've got a bunch of other things that you can get on it. So it's not the basic that I told you that the Scion was. And I will tell you too, when it comes to the FRS, you had it one way, but that's the way you wanted it. So if you wanted that car, it was set up the way you wanted it. Lots of torque, a little over 200 horsepower. Just it was set up the way that you wanted that car. So like I said, so this is your FRS or your Toyota 86. Those are your Scion CHR, which was then, like I said, branded into the Toyota brand of your Toyota CHR. So you can kind of see what they did, and what it is they didn't change anything but the names initially, and then they revamped them like they would anything else. So you look at the new 2018 Camry, it looks different than the 17. You look at the new Corolla in 2020, it looks different than the 18. You look at the new RAV4. RAV4s are back there. You look at those, definitely look different than what the 2018s did. So the whole thing is Toyota's always going to keep on innovating and keep on changing things. And when they saw that the Scion really wasn't bringing extra, it wasn't bringing in extra customers, basically what you're having to do is explain to customers that it was a Toyota, or it was built in a partnership with Toyota, or it was something that they wanted to buy. Once people were asking the question about, well, why don't you just put a Toyota emblem on it and call it a Toyota? It kind of sounds like that made a lot of sense. So like I said, that's the only reason that it seems that the Toyota brand the Scion brand was put into the Toyota. So right? Sorry, I had a cargo behind us here. So definitely great vehicles. They're always, I mean, Toyota doesn't do anything wrong when it comes to building a vehicle. They're going to build them reliable. They're going to build them right. Even the ones that are built in partnerships, they're built to Toyota standards. So it is always the best idea to see this brand on the front of your car. So if you see that brand on the front of your car, you're going to be guaranteed one thing: reliability, and then you're also going to be guaranteed resale value. So Toyota is always really good at those things. So like I say, I guess there's no guarantees in life, but man, if there's anything that's close to a guarantee, you put Toyota on there, it's going to be reliable and it's going to get you a good resale value. So definitely let me know what you think of the video. Like I said, I always just shoot from the hip and kind of tell you what I think and the reasons for things as far as I can tell them, and that's really what I was trying to do there. Just because I had a couple people ask me what happened to the Scions. So the Scions are gone, obviously, other than if you buy a used one, of course. But they're gone only by the emblem. They're not gone when it comes to the Toyota, keeping the inspiration and what the Scion brand really meant around. So definitely take one for a spin. I think you'll like them. The ones that I showed you are definitely they're still around and they're still on and kicking, and definitely the Corolla Hatch is really fun to drive as well. This thing, it turns on a dime, 2.0 liter motor. It really goes great. So I think you'd really like to drive that. If I have to ask you to drive that, you don't need to drive that. It's just saying. And then the IA, realistically, the IA is the compact that's just smaller than the Corolla. Gets you a little bit better fuel economy. You're going to get upwards of 40 miles per gallon in the IA, or the Yaris sedan now, as they call it. But it's meant to be economical. You're going to get that one below 20 grand as a new car. So definitely take a look at that if you're looking for your budget. But and then your Corolla hatches, they're mid 20s, just depending on which one you get. Your CHRs, once again, depending on which one you get, they start at around 22 and they go up from there. Your FRSs, that's a little bit harder one to do, but by the way, your CHRs can go pretty good up from there now because they do have some options on them. But I'll peek at the sticker on this one. This particular one's $30,859, and there's a rear bumper applique on that one. So that's pretty much where they would start. So other than adding options, so about $30,000 on that one. So definitely Steve Welch, Beaman Toyota in downtown Nashville. I hope that I've helped you guys to understand this. Definitely reach out to me at the store. If you come on in, ask for me. I'm more than happy to help you to pick out a new vehicle. Steve Welch, Beaman Toyota. Like, subscribe. I appreciate every one of you. Hope you guys have a great evening as it is now, or whenever you're watching it. Hope you guys take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.